We're going to get started today. I'd like for everybody to grab out this card here. This is a card we have on the back of it. This is called a note-taking device. And I believe that note takers are the movers and the shakers, because what the mind is for strategizing, but the pen is for remembering. Does that make sense? So I'm going to walk you through some business principles that I know that work, and I realize that I am I'm not really the most spiritually qualified to be here, but I am very, very good at business. To me, growing businesses is very easy. And then, who here has a smartphone? You own a smartphone? Have you ever thought about the deeper meaning of life and sat there with your phone and thought to yourself, I wonder how this works? Has anybody ever had that thought? You ever really thought, like, Mr. T-Mobile, I would like to add an extra line, but before you sell it to me, I would like for you to explain to me, it's a profound concept I've struggled with. I struggle with my faith in phones. Please explain it to me before I use it. Anybody like that at all? Anybody? No? You just use it? This is how I am with my relationship with Christ. I know Christ is real. I know the Bible is real, but I find myself, doubt is like my biggest struggle, but I know that Christ is real. Does that make sense? And so I'm going to teach you biblical principles to wealth and how to make money, how to grow a business, how to become successful in the workplace. But Pastor Brian is my pastor, and I look to him as a source of wisdom. And for all things spiritual, I look to him. So I'm gonna everything I say today, please cite it, look it up, make sure it aligns with Scripture. And we're going to get started with this first concept today. As a Christian, wouldn't it be nice if you had a platform above the norm to share your faith? I mean, do we believe that people go to hell? Do we literally believe that people go to hell? Do we believe that? I believe it. I'm a literal guy. Maybe I'm old school, but, Adam and Eve, the Noah, the boat, So if we do believe that people go to hell, wouldn't it be nice if you had a platform with which to share your faith? Wouldn't that be nice? So my entire goal of today's talk is to provide you for this question. Someone will ask you, can I pick your brain? And so at work, because I'm really good at business, people ask me that at least every 7 seconds. It's like every half hour, someone says, can I pick your brain? Because I have a podcast that does well. Can I pick your brain? Because the businesses do well. Can I pick your brain? And because you're going to implement these principles, people are going to say that. How many people here are managers or owners? You manage 3 people, 4 people, 5? By show of hands, who manages some people? Do people not say, can I pick your brain? Do you got a minute? And so what happens is people will look to you as a source of wisdom when you have success in the workplace, which is your place where you're at 5/7 of your week, right? 5/7 of your week, you're at the workplace. So this first concept is, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the... I know it's the second service, you're not hyped up yet, maybe not enough caffeine yet, but whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the... There we go, getting better. Okay, so... Not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the, as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are. That changes things, doesn't it? When we go to work and we think about we're working not as unto man. So let me tell you how to do it wrong. I told the first service, but it's a confession. This is my chance to confess with you. This is cathartic for me. I worked at Target many moons ago, and at Applebee's, and at DirecTV. I had 3 jobs. That's how I got started. Target, DirecTV, Applebee's. And when I worked at Target, who here likes those Target pretzels? Do they still sell those pretzels? Yeah. And you're not supposed to eat more than 1 per shift if you're an employee. So my boss would leave, and I'm thinking, well, he can't tell. And I wasn't a Christian yet, so I'm not working as unto the Lord. I'm working as unto human masters. Are you feeling what I'm saying? And my boss wasn't that great of a boss, and I thought, the way I'm going to stick it to him is I'm going to eat all the pretzels. Forget the caloric trade-offs I'm making. Forget the health trade-offs. I'm going to eat those things. So my boss used to gather us around in a team each morning. He'd say, guys, team huddle. Guys, a couple things we need to cover here today. Somebody's been eating all the pretzels. Do we know who's been eating all the pretzels? Do we know? Because I would like to know. And, there's like 5 of us, and so we're like, well, have you ever been in that situation in the office? You all know who's doing it, but no one admits it. I wasn't a Christian, and I'm like, well, has some good leads. I couldn't tell you exactly who's doing it, but, And that was my move. And then I discovered the all-call page, which was my favorite button. Who here's worked at Target before? Target's awesome because they have the all-call page where you can make an announcement if someone loses their car keys, someone can't find a kid, somebody, right? So this was my move. If you hit the manager button, I found out his code. I wasn't a manager, but I found out the code. So you could make the announcements, and no one could know where you're announcing it from. Does that make sense? You could make an announcement, they didn't know the source of the announcement, so I'd hop on the overhead speaker, duck down behind the electronics desk. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a four-door vehicle that's been in a very dangerous accident up front. If you have a four-door vehicle, please report immediately to the front. And I would just wait, and everyone would leave. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then I go eat some pretzels. This was my strategy. And if I wanted to share my faith to you, do you think that you would want to listen? Oh, Mr. Pretzel Eater, Bottom Feeder, the Carp of Target, please give us your pontifications on how to be successful. Does that make sense? Now, I read this book called Think and Grow Rich. Has anybody read Think and Grow Rich? It was written by Napoleon Hill, who Oral Roberts said was his business coach, his kind of advisor. And Napoleon Hill in his book says, if you over-deliver, you'll soon be overpaid. So knowledge without application is meaningless. I believe if you come here today and you learn some things and we don't apply it, it's absolutely meaningless. So I'm going to give you some action items today, some things we have to do, some seeds we have to sow. So thing number one, I want you to jot this down. Beat your boss to work. For the next 90 days. Because you're working as unto the, you're not working for him, her. You're working for the big boss, the man upstairs, the guy who makes the smartphone possible, the guy who gives us the air in our lungs, the guy who created the planet, the great creator. That's who our boss is. Does that make sense? And then let Amarillo ask the question, can I pick your brain? You'll say, why? You say, sure. I'll say, I have a question. We both work in the same department. Why do you get to work so early? Do you get paid extra for that? And you say, nope, I'm working as unto the Lord. That's your testimony number one. That's your chance to share. But I'm telling you, people judge us based on our production, our success, our work ethic, our diligence, right? So work as unto the Lord for the next 90 days. And if you do it, send me an email to info@thrivetimeshow.com and tell me, info@thrivetimeshow.com, about your promotion. Because I get that email every week from somebody all over this country who says, I did your secret move, and it's crazy. I got promoted. Moving on to the next slide, please. The F6 life. This is tough because we only have 15, 16 minutes together, but yet we have to think about this. I want you to write down the following F's you'll see on the screen. Faith, family, finances, fitness, friendship, fun. Let me try again. Faith, family, finances, fitness, friendship, and fun. That's my life. That's in the top circle, the suckle. That's David Robinson, the NBA Hall of Famer, my partner. That's he and I. That's work. In the middle, that's my kids. That's my girls. That's my friends. That's our office party. It's all life, right? All of it fits into faith, family, finances, fitness, friendship, fun. So I want you to rate yourself on a scale of A to F. To make this exercise more fun, we could rate the person next to us. So rate yourself on a scale of A to F on the areas of faith, family. Go ahead and put a little letter there. This is not a allegory. This is not a metaphor. This is real. Let's rate ourselves on the scale of faith, on the areas of faith, family, finance, fitness, friendship, fun. Now, I'm going to rate myself so you can judge me, okay? But before I rate myself, I want to ask you this question. Faith requires us to invest time in it, right? So I want you to write next to faith, when every day are you going to schedule time for your faith? Put a specific time. I'll tell you my example. I listen to T.D. Jakes every single morning when I hop in the shower. I know that's a disturbing thought, but I do bathe. I'm in the shower listening to T.D. Jakes, and right about the time that T.D. Jakes really gets into it, does anybody know who T.D. Jakes is? Right about the time he's really bringing it home, I start to wake up. Mentally and spiritually, and that's my process every single day. And who here manages people again by show of hands? I have to do it every day. I don't know about you guys, but back in the day if you were playing Nintendo, remember Nintendo? Duck Hunt? Remember Mario, Super Mario Brothers? Do. Remember that? And if you were ever losing, remember what the ethical move was to do? You hit the reset button. I have to hit the reset every day because I'm a man-bear pig, and I need to do that every single day, so it's in my schedule. Family, right? When are you going to spend time for family? When are you going to schedule time for family? Because you got to work on your family as unto the Lord. Make sense? And that, to me, is like so important, but yet you can tell what someone values based on where they spend their time, right? So, finances. When are you specifically on a weekly basis going to look at your numbers? A lot of times people will go like years without looking at their numbers. Months, years. I mean, you know what I mean? Because we're busy, right? We're busy. Got a lot going on, all right? Faith, family, finances, fitness. When are specifically? Now, again, I realize I am a shape. I'm not in shape. I'm just a shape. I'm not coming here from Mount Judgemore to pontificate about awesomeness. I'm just being real. We've got to schedule specific time to work out. Are you feeling what I'm saying? Are you feeling me like a petting zoo? Okay. Faith, family, finances, fitness, friendship. When are we going to schedule time for friendship? How many people know that it takes time to develop a friendship? So I'm asking you, and it's literally in my calendar. I have my calendar. It's in there every day. These are things I schedule. And then fun. When are you going to schedule time to have fun with the kids or to spend, I don't know, go whack a golf ball, whatever it is. You got to sometimes have some fun. Do we not? So I'm going to tell you how I rate myself in these areas. Faith, I told the first service, I feel like I'm a solid C-. Like, I'm going to use the phone. I know that Christ saved me. I know the Bible's real, and I believe it to be the irrefutable Word of God. But there's some things in there that confuse me, which is why I seek wisdom from people like Pastor Brian, Pastor Dave. Does that make sense? I'm always trying to get better, but I'm not going to give myself an A there. I know what I need to work on. Make sense? So faith. Now, family. I feel like this year I moved into a solid B-. Any solid B- people out there? You're going, yeah, that's me too. I'm awesome. You know, there was the A-team. Remember Mr. T? I pity the fool. He always drove with the van door open so he could get out faster. Throw caution to the wind. Let's drive 90 miles an hour in a van and keep the door open. I'm the B team. But I have 5 kids. I'm getting better, but I have to be aware of what I need to do better. Does that make sense? And what I need to do better, I'm just telling you, I've had to learn in the last 5-6 years, is that phone cannot come in my house after work because there's always one more deal. And when you grow up poor, anybody here grow up poor? Anybody been poor? You know what poor is? We get that? Yellow boxes. Yellow boxes. Why are all the boxes yellow? Everything is great value. Great. You get it? Powdered milk. You add water to the milk. You get it? You feel what I'm saying? When you grow up a certain way and you have opportunities, I feel like I need to seize that opportunity. Does that make sense? So, but sometimes you have to set boundaries for faith, your family, your finances. Fitness. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could just buy the yoga pants and the shoes and get the membership and you just got in shape? This is what I do. I have a trainer guy now, but this is my deal with fitness. If I don't have a trainer or a partner or someone I go with, it's important we know ourselves, isn't it? Important we know. I will go there, and I'm not a very sociable kind of guy. Usually I'm pretty more like, head down. But I will look for people that I kind of know, and this is my line. I'll go, don't I know you? And no, we've never met at all. I have no idea who you are. I feel like I know you, and I'm going to try to avoid that treadmill with as much passion as possible, and then I'm going to leave after I've been in the building for about a half hour, so it feels like I worked out. Are you feeling what I'm saying? This is a question. I'm just making sure we're relating. Friendships. That's like where if somebody calls you, they need you to help pick them up on the side of the road, their car broke down, will you be there? Now, to develop a friendship, I've discovered you need to share the values with people and time. And so we got to block out time for that. Now, social media, do your research on this. There's an article called, Is Your Smartphone Making You Dumb? By Psychology Today, and I'll save you the research, but I encourage you to check it out. Yes. And what happens is the average American now has hundreds of Facebook friends, but on average, less than one real friend. On average. So you can do your research on that. So we've got to invest time with real people, not fake people. Are you guys getting this? Am I relating? Am I marinating? Are we getting this? Okay. So friendship and then fun. So let's go to the next slide. So here's the WORK. Work. Whatever you do, again, work at it with all of your heart as working for the right. Don't worry about be becoming once I went to Target and I had that mindset, I'm working as hard as I can, getting there early, staying late, getting it. A guy walks up to me. He says, my name's Todd Starkey. Why do you work here? I'm like, because I'm paid to work here in the electronics section, He says, I have an internship program at tax and accounting software. How much do you make now, son? And I said, about $7 an hour. He goes, I'll pay you $15 an hour to bring that little laser show you're doing to my offices. That's how I got promoted. My first real job. My first job where it was like white collar in an office. You know what I'm saying? And then I started working as under the Lord there, and great things happened. But according to Forbes, 70% of people hate their jobs. And do you know why, if you read this article, why most people hate their jobs, what the number one reason is? They say they feel like they're being micromanaged. Check this. If you don't need a manager, you'll become the manager. Oh, so deep in the morning, so deep. Okay, right. So, action step. If you're an employer, we need to work as unto the Lord and over-deliver for our clients. If we're cleaning carpets, let's get there early, let's do it better. If we're delivering pizzas, let's get there early, let's do it better. Let's just always do it. Let's work as unto the Lord as a church here today. Oh, own your day. In June of 2016, another study reported that the typical smartphone owner interacts with his or her phone an average of 85 interruptions a day. This includes immediately upon waking up, just before going to sleep, and oftentimes in the middle of the night. So here's my tip for you. I've interviewed millionaires, billionaires, been friends with them. I've grown successful companies, and I have yet to meet a single person, not one, I've tried, not one person who is enormously successful that does not spend at least an hour a day planning their day before the day. Some of you say, I'm a night owl. Cool. Ooh, ooh. Then do it at night. That's all my bird sounds. Ooh, ooh. This guy's amazing. Okay, so it's really important, though, that we spend time designing our day, isn't it? Because how many of you own a business? How many of you own a business? By show of hands. Own a business. When you get to work, do you not immediately run into chaos? So Lee Cockrell here. He managed Walt Disney World Resorts, 40,000 employees. Could you imagine how many people live in Amarillo? 7, 8, 9, 500, 50,000, 52, Bueller, anybody? Oh, 200,000, 207,000, a lot. Do you realize that 1 million people a week come to Disney World? That's like 5 Amarillos every week showing up. And you know what? They have heart attacks at Disney World. They don't just have them here. They have strokes. They have divorces at the park, the happiest place on earth. Hi, everybody. You know, Disney, Mickey Mouse, he actually smokes. Hi, everybody. I got to take a smoke break. See you, kids. I'm serious. This is reality. It's not like they're not dealing with real people there. So Lee said he had to spend an hour a day scheduling his day. Does that make sense? Before the day, because when you get to work, the chaos happens, right? Don't we all want to work out and then the chaos happens? Don't we all want to call our parents and be appreciative? Don't we all want to be good friends, family, faith, family, finances, fitness? But we have to schedule. So Lee says, what gets scheduled gets done. And I am very, 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 very certain. Well, I'm at least 80% certain. I'm 74.7% certain that nobody's going to come rendezvous and interrupt me in my shower when I'm listening to T.D. Jakes. Excuse me, Mr. Pasty Mail, I have a question. No, that doesn't happen when I'm in the shower. That's why I listen to T.D. Jakes. Are you getting this? Are we getting this? But if we don't schedule time, it won't happen. So we could learn all these spiritual concepts, and we could really know, because Pastor Brian, what? Pastor Jesse, what? Pastor David, what? You guys have great teaching. But people do judge us based on what we do, not based on what we intend to do. We have the best teaching in the world at this church. How many people have been going to this church for over 5 years? By round of applause, who's been going to this church for 5 years? That's it. We need a little more enthusiasm. There we go. Nice. So you guys have great teaching, but the world judges us based on what we do. God gives us unconditional love and forgiveness, but in the workplace, no one wants to hear our testimony or be invited to church from the guy who eats all the pretzels. This whole sermon's been about pretzels. I make pretzels. Why do you hate pretzels so much? No, I do. It's an addiction problem. Okay, so Proverbs 14:23 says, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. That's in the Bible. The Bible. The Bible? You mean that book that we have? It's in there. Let me read it again. Let me read it in kind of a more of a deep, kind of a deity voice. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. That's what God said. So we got to get to work and work. That's what we got to do. Because if we don't, people are going to go, okay, that's your new thing you're doing, sure. But people judge us based on the scoreboard. All right? R, rise and grind, but not too early. Do we have any men here or women here who by default, you just love to work? That's your natural thing. That's your natural deal. Anybody just love to work? Anybody? There's like one person has the same problem. Good. You and I can share. We can go to the same therapy together. We're like, we just love to work all the time. 8 days a week if we could. We like it. I like it. It's like, to me, it's fun. But you got to have boundaries, right? So it says here, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. That's Proverbs 10:4. That's great. But it also says in Exodus 20:11, for in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. But he rested on the... That's why our men's grooming lounge, Elephant in the Room, is closed. Elephant in the Room, our men's grooming lounge, is closed on Sunday. Are you turning down all the profits? Yes. Why? Because that's in the people upstairs Bible. Right? Verbal gymnastics in the morning. The Bible. Work it. Right. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that we observe the Sabbath. We also work 6 days. 6 days. Said God created the earth in how many days? Read the Bible. Just type in 6 days Bible verses. You'll have some fun with that. God did not say in 1938, God did not say we now must have a 40-hour work week. That's FDR talking to you. Wrestle with the morality of that. But if you want to be enormously successful, you've got to put that work in. God gave Adam the garden and told him to work that thing. I don't know if he said that thing. That might be a newer translation. Adam, work that thing. You got to work it. Right? That's more like a Missy Elliott reference. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so, okay. We got to keep focused on sustainable diligence. What does it mean to be sustainable? It's like where you can keep it up. I don't know about you, but I like to just grind. Like I like to just grind, and then my wife's like, "You haven't been home in like 2 weeks." I'm going, it hasn't been that long. It's just 15 days, And I'll get into that. It makes sense. Or some of us, anybody here like you get into working out, and then it becomes your obsession, and then you don't talk to people, and people are saying, "Bro, you are jacked, bro." You're like, "Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, brother. Oh yeah." You know what I'm saying? Or someone gets really spiritual. You burn all your CDs. You unplug the cable. You're running around wearing a robe, and you're like, Proverbs is so good. So looking all crazy, Proverbs is so good. Have you been outside at all? No, it's just awesome. I read it 18 times, and I had a lot of Red Bull. Love Proverbs and Red Bull. You should take a nap, Daryl. Right? So we got to have sustainability. Are you getting that? Is this helping somebody? Okay, so we got to schedule it. So it says here in Genesis 2:15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it, right? It also says here, Proverbs 13:11-13, wealth from get rich quick schemes quickly disappears. Wealth from hard work grows over time. A different translation. One time, repeat that again. Dishonest money dwindles away. Could you repeat that, please? Dishonest money dwindles. This guy's a psychological tick. He keeps saying the same thing. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. So if you're out there trying to get rich quick because you're not trying to schedule every day that daily diligence, it's not going to work. Anybody here farm? You ever seen a farm? You driven by a farm? You till the soil? You sow the seeds? you water, you get a harvest. That's how it is at work. We just got to, the next 90 days, let's beat our boss to work and get up every day and schedule time for your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendship, and your fun. And the only things that you don't schedule are the only things that won't get done. Now, final big idea, and I'll leave you guys alone. The average American, not the people here, the people at the other churches. No, not those churches. No, it's people who don't go to church. It's heathens. The average heathen, the average satanic worshiper watches TV. The guy with the goat head running around out there in the park, that guy. The average American watches 5.2 hours of TV a day. Write that down, think about it, look it up. Nielsen, 5.2 hours of TV per day. The average American has 90 interruptions on their smartphone, which means the average American has no time for their family because they're on Facebook. The average person has no time to be successful because they're watching TV. We can't be watching CSI Miami. We don't want to watch other people's TV shows. Let's have a life that people want to make TV shows about. Because then, when they watch your Chip and Joanna show, they're going to say, can I pick your brain? And then you say yes. And they say, why are you so successful? And you say, because Christ is my focus. I go to Victory/River City, whatever we're going to call the church. I go to that church, and you should come with me. And they're going to go, even though I think I don't agree with your religion, I'll go with you because whatever you're doing, I want that. But if we believe in Christ and we deny him with our lifestyle, nobody wants to come to church. Does that make sense? So we just gotta schedule time for what matters. Now, Billy Graham says this. He says the highest form of worship is the worship of unselfish Christian service. A synonym for service is work. The highest form of worship is the worship of unselfish Christian service. Final notable quotable. Rick Warren says, work becomes worship when you dedicate it to God and perform it with an awareness of his presence. So here is my little thing I'm doing right now. Our podcast, there's 530,000 podcasts, of which we are in the top 60. We're in the top 5. There's Dave Ramsey and us, and there's no other Christians up there. So we talk about search engine optimization and growing a business and that, but then we sneak in little passive-aggressive Christian references, because that's my goal, right? So I would just encourage you, go into that workplace, work as unto the Lord, but our little secret goal is to bring people here. I 100% believe in this vision for 100 churches. I believe in Pastor David. I believe in Pastor Brian. I believe in Pastor Jesse, and I believe in you. And this week, let's go out there and beat our bosses to work. Let's go out there and work that thing. Thank you, Victory Church.